And good morning and welcome to the Candace and Meg. Hello, everybody.
Hello there.
Hello, Becky.
Hello.
Did you just check to see if it was morning?
Yeah.
'Cause it's not.
I have no idea what time it is.
Like, I know it's not morning. It's just a
She
bit.
thought it might be. She was
I
checking.
was like,
A little bit moved on from that. How are we doing?
Good. How are you?
Yeah, good.
Torian, in 1 week. This time next week.
From today.
We would have done one event.
workout. The gassiest one of the
Yes.
weekend. Do you think, question of the day before your question. Yeah. Have you got a question?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, cool. Do you think they should keep events from competitions?
Yes.
She already knows what I'm going to say. A secret until the day. Have you ever done a comp with that?
Never, but I think, yes.
Yeah.
I think it would be I think have like a list of
Well, we've
possible,
hosted comps like that. though.
yeah,
As a game.
possible movement standards. Like you just need to be able to do these things and any of these might pop up, but then like, who knows?
And what's the reason you think that should be like that?
Because even though I know the sport is, and particularly when you're in like pairs and teams, I mean individual as well, it's strategy based, definitely. But I think it would reward teamwork really well and like the ability to think on the fly and make a plan based on what you already know about each other. I just think that would add a whole nother level.
Element.
Yeah.
Would you say the fly is the unknown and unknowable?
Yes, I would.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah. I do enjoy like knowing a little bit and then getting to practice some elements that I'm nervous about. But I loved doing workouts and not knowing what it feels like. I think I would prefer it.
Yeah.
And yeah, like you said, like very much strategy based, but how cool to see a team work together when they've no idea until like 5 minutes before the event.
I think that would be so fun to be a part of as well. Just like figure it out.
Yep. We should write a letter.
We should. Yes, let's do that.
What do you reckon, Becky? Do you like
I
that
think
idea?
so, yeah. I mean, people would not like it. But even if some of them, how many have you got over the weekend? 6. Even if you knew like 3 and then
The other 3.
the last 3 get released on the Saturday or something for the Sunday. Or
And you've got
however
no
it
time to
works.
practice.
Yeah. A bit of strategy, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that would be very cool.
Did
Have you got 4 workouts now?
4 of the 6, yeah. Did we know I don't think we knew the final.
I was just thinking that. I don't think we knew the final.
in 22, it
When
was
we
the
were there.
7th workout, which we didn't even know. We were talking about the other day. We didn't even know we made the final until 5 minutes before.
Yeah. Yeah,
Ridiculous.
we were fine. We figured that out.
Figured it out very good.
Do you remember the CrossFit Games when they the run? That was so good.
So
I think they
good.
should do more of that.
Yeah. And then they did an event with
It was like called Chaos or something, where they didn't tell them even how many reps. It was just like, this is the movement, go till we tell you you're done kind of
Yeah.
thing.
crazy.
Like, how do you
Wild.
deal under that stress
Yeah,
and pressure
yeah.
and like all the emotions? Like, what was it? The run in the games, and they got told to turn around and go again. Was that it?
Yeah, the trail. Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah.
So I don't think they knew the distance. They just had to run until they hit the end, and then they had no idea. And Castro was standing at the end, and he's like, "Go around, turn around, do the whole thing in reverse." And Matt Fraser thought he was joking,
Yeah,
gave him the finger. But whoever was in second just turned around and started
Yeah.
running. He's like, "What? You're serious?" And then he's like, "Fuck!" Then just started running. That'd be so nuts.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think a lot of comps, like just before I started competing, like when I first started CrossFit, I think most comps back in the olden days, most of them didn't release the workouts until you were there. I remember the first comp I ever went and watched before I even did CrossFit, when my friend did a comp, they were writing the whiteboard, and that's
in
when
front of everyone?
Yeah, that's when they found out the events, and that was like in Brizzy, like a local comp.
Yeah.
Now we get them fucking 9 months in advance in local comps. I'd be so tired of the
Butterfly
workout.
effect. We're looking at you.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. All of the workouts come out so early. And then it's like, yeah, it just takes away, I think, a little bit what CrossFit is and should be.
And I think people don't know what to do. Like, people just do the workout over and over again. Like, that's not going to make you any better at it, really. So I think it just too much information in the hands of people that really don't need it.
Yeah, fair. But, a week out with Torian, we've still got 2 workouts. Like they've, released it with time for, because obviously them running their event for the semi-final, and with the amount of audience they get, they want it to look good, or they want it to be, you know, everyone to understand what's going on, so it's also a spectator
they don't want people
sport.
like yelling at each other on the floor.
Yeah. So with the individuals and them going to the games from it, they obviously want people to be able to get a feel, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be good. Only a week to go.
Very exciting.
All the way exciting.
Yes.
What are we talking about today? Or what's the question?
Well, actual question of the day. Have you ever cheated on a test?
This was, do you know why I put this
No,
question in?
that's why I wanted to ask it today.
So Callie cheated on a test. Yeah. It's crazy.
How?
Well, she's like, I didn't really cheat. She fucking did. So it was a math test in class.
Yeah.
And she's like, Mummy, we did a math test today. And we were like driving home. And I was like, oh yeah, how'd it go? She's like, I think I cheated. And I was like, what?
Beg your pardon?
I was like,
Let's pull this car over for a second.
I was like, what do you mean? And she was like, well, I don't know if it's cheating because the girl who I cheated off was cheating and I knew her answer would be right because she was using a calculator. And I was like, wait, so you weren't allowed to use calculators? She's like, no. And I was like, and she was using a calculator. She's like, yeah, most of the class was. And I was like, where's the teacher?
How do they have calculate? Like
So they have them in their desk and then
Yeah.
the teacher's like up the front and they just pull their calculator at the desk and they're all on their calculators.
Sneaky dogs.
Yeah. Callie didn't use the calculator, but she didn't know. She said she wasn't very confident in that one answer. So she checked it from the girl, like looked at her test paper who's using the calculator. And she's like, yeah, it's right. So she like cheated but didn't change her answer. So in her head, she didn't cheat.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, that's crazy. I don't remember cheating in grade 4. I was like,
Yeah.
that's like, I definitely cheated in grade 6 and 7. 100%.
I think I probably would have checked answers potentially.
With, like
You'd
sussed
be
it
like,
out.
oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
I can't remember any like cheating.
Oh no, I cheated.
Did ya? Like got other people to do stuff for you?
Oh yeah. Year 8 home ec, manual arts, like everyone, I just do this. Like,
yeah, right.
I just ate the food
Yeah.
at the end. It's like my life now. Do this and I'll eat them. No.
Nothing has changed.
Yeah, like late primary school, early high school, I did not give a fuck about most things and I would just write down whatever.
Yeah.
Or yeah. And then later high school I just didn't care anymore. So
Yeah.
I didn't even try to cheat. That was too hard.
I'm just not doing that.
Yeah, I just won't do it instead.
Did you ever cheat, Bex?
I think I've done some side eye stuff
Yeah.
in papers, in exams. I do remember playing the recorder at school and I wasn't very good or hadn't been practicing enough. And I was just kind of like looking at the person next to me, their fingers.
Yeah.
So like blowing and just kind of like maybe a note behind each time. And then I think
She's like
the
lip syncing.
teacher must have seen me and was like, okay, Becky, I
Or
want you
heard
to
it.
play this bit on your own. So in front of the whole class, but somehow I pulled it out of the bag. But it's like a very like traumatic memory. But yeah, I was like just looking at the person next to me, their fingers, and copying their fingers.
That's so funny.
That's
Well,
very
something very hard to copy. Like that
Yeah.
many fingers
Yeah.
going at one
Yeah.
time. And you just side-eyed.
I reckon just a couple of checks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never like got anyone to do like homework for me or anything like that, I don't think.
No, I don't think I ever got homework done for me. Just, yeah, in exam, low confidence in my knowledge. And I'd just be like,
Yeah.
And I can't imagine what it's like now with like ChatGPT and just how are they even, I don't even know.
well, Keza said, look, I think we were talking about it in class the other day. She said, oh, there's obviously technology that can pick up if it's AI. So
Yeah.
she's already having these conversations with kids using it
Yeah.
already
Yeah.
at uni.
We used to have, I can't remember what it's called, when you put your assignment in, it like scans it and tells you what percentage
You
is
stole.
plagiarized.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that was like if we just like copied it from a textbook or something. But now you can just like do my assignment.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's getting more and more sophisticated.
Yeah.
So then they're going to have to get things that are more sophisticated to catch you out.
Yeah.
But yeah, how do they
Crazy.
do that?
Who knows?
Have we got this for a question or is it the question tomorrow for
It's the
class?
question tomorrow, yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think most people will be yes?
Yeah.
Do you think so?
At some point in their life, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like Meg's, when I talked to her, she was there when we were talking about it the other day, and she's even a yes.
I'm shocked.
But she cheated off her own notes when it wasn't open book. I was like, that is the most Meg's way to cheat I've ever heard.
That makes more sense. That makes more sense.
But yeah, I feel like if Meg's has cheated, then everyone's cheated.
Yeah, then it's okay for everybody to cheat because she's so smart.
Yeah.
I actually just wanted to have a little follow up on the question we asked last week, which is our question of the day today about the gorilla and the men. So
Is this
we
what
asked
Did
it.
Kirsty send it to you?
Yes, we asked it in class this morning because we hadn't actually asked the members yet. And Vera, we were all arguing the morning class. Like, question of the day went for too long. Like, class ran late. Like, we talked about it for too long. And then Vera was like, I'm going to put it into ChatGPT later and I'll send it to you. And I was like, amazing. Okay. It says, if it's one fully grown adult male gorilla versus 100 unarmed human men, the gorilla would almost certainly lose. The gorilla would inflict massive casualties. Dozens of men could be killed or incapacitated, but in the end, the 100 men would almost certainly prevail by sheer attrition.
I'm sorry. ChatGPT is, it makes mistakes. It's made a mistake. I still feel like, did Kirsty send you the video?
Yes, and that's, yes.
Because I'm like, no, it has to win. So Kirsty sent us a video on Instagram and it's a gorilla cracking a coconut, and he does this, you know how fucking thick a coconut would be, and this is his force cracking it, and then it just goes boop.
Like a boiled egg.
Yeah.
And then I was like, that's a skull. That person's dead.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy.
I just feel like we wouldn't work in unison enough.
Yeah.
Like maybe if it was like
I'm just picturing the
workout
Hunger
wasn't
Games and you just get thrown in and like, gorilla. And then you don't have time to
and
plan
you've got like
it.
half of the men running
Yes.
and the other half trying to fight, but no one's
Yes.
working together.
Yeah.
Like you'd have to go, all right, you 10, you're going to die.
Yeah.
Bye.
The front line.
Yeah. And then
They're
the rest
gone.
of them, they have
Yeah.
to somehow work together. I just don't think men are smart, not men, humans are smart
Yeah,
enough
to
to
figure that out.
No. I reckon the gorilla would absolutely use one man to kill the rest of the men. Just
AI does not agree. Yeah.
swinging around. Until that one was, ripped apart and then they'd use another one. Anyway.
Members keep sending me all the videos of TikTok now, just like, yeah, but what about this? Very funny.
It's a good, whoever started it, you have created,
Thank you.
yeah, some topic of discussion.
I love it.
What
I
are we
love it.
actually
We are
talking
actually
about
talking
today?
about a conversation I had with a member, I think it was last week or the week before, about kind of the gist was like, I'm getting older. What's the point? Like, what's the point of even trying anymore? Because I'm not going to keep getting better.
How old is she?
41.
And is she currently not getting better? Is that where the fear came from?
I think we kind of determined not getting better because of the life stage she's in. So kind of staying the same despite everything that's going on in the background. Has just finished uni, single parents half the year, has a husband who works away, has 2 young boys. And so gym is not a priority at the moment. And yeah, it was a bit like, what's the point anymore? So I would love to talk about that.
Let's do it.
Let's fucking do it.
And at the same time, you had that conversation. I had a similar one, and I think this all started in the staff meeting last week. I think I brought that up, and then you were like, "Well, same," and like, yeah, there was a couple of different conversations going on around the gym that were similar. Someone almost at 40, and not what's the point, but it was more like, oh, one day soon I'm going to stop getting better. Like I better. Like one day soon I'm going to have to, be a masters athlete. Yeah. One day soon I'm going to have to pull back everything. One day soon, like it's the fear of like getting older in the gym.
Have you ever felt that?
Like I make jokes about it all the time.
Yeah.
But that's probably just like a defense mechanism of Hannah being so much more mobile, powerful, and all of the things. Mine is like, and I said this to you before the Open this year, I'm just so fucking grateful that I can move the way I can with the weight I can and the what I can do. Like I don't really think the age thing comes into it as much because I have lived a point in my life where I was physically mush and I'll never not remember what that felt like. With the autoimmune and even being heavily pregnant, I just did not like enjoy.
I remember, I didn't know you when you were pregnant, but I remember you saying how like you couldn't defend just like that was your biggest thing. You're like, if someone attacked me, like I couldn't do anything about it.
I know, and Jordo tells me often, like, you're not as big and strong as you think you are, mate, but I feel confident in my ability to defend myself or run away. And I always have, except when I was pregnant, and like knowing that I had to protect this thing inside of me as well. And yeah, with the autoimmune, both of those times were points in my life where I felt low in so many different ways, physically, mentally. My confidence was so rocked because I just felt like I couldn't do anything. So I'm still getting better. I PB'd my power clean, lifetime PB last week. I'm better at handstand walking and ring muscle ups than I've ever been in my life. And I am almost closer to 36 than I am to 35.
Closer to 40.
Closer to 36 than I am.
You're in your 36th year.
Yeah, I'm in my 36th year. And more on that point is I didn't just start CrossFit 2 years ago. It's been going on for a long ass time. So training age is 13. Well, not like, I started when I was 16 lifting weights.
Yeah.
So even longer than that. But yeah, CrossFit's around 13. So if I can keep getting better and up until the last 6 weeks, just doing a class every day with a, little bit of fun stuff at the end, like it's not over. And I think the other reason for me is I see Rach Robinson, who's in the 55. Is she in the 50? Or, no, 50 to 54 age category. And she's been doing CrossFit longer than me. And I don't know where she's at in terms of getting better, but she still kicks my ass.
Yeah.
So if she's more than 15 years older than me and she's still going this hard, and she's been an athlete her entire life.
And she doesn't do a whole lot extra, outside of class, and she's still continued to do that.
Yep.
Like, that's really cool.
Yeah. I haven't spoke to her, but she's competing at Torian.
Oh, is she?
In
Cool.
Masters. Yeah. So yeah, it's not over until you let it be over. I think like until you, what's the word?
Like concede defeat almost.
Yeah. Until you let it happen. And I think it is such a mindset battle. But also, like you said, the person you spoke to, lifestyle. I'm not studying at university. I do not have 2 young boys. And my husband's home every night. Like, you have to definitely look at where you're at in your life to be able to make it work.
Yeah.
I think effort has if you can physically come to a class 4 to 5 times a week, you can continue getting better.
Definitely.
Based on the effort you put in to that session. I think obviously your sleep and nutrition and stress levels have to support that outside of the gym. But if you can come and try your absolute hardest into whatever that session is, then you can keep getting better.
Yeah.
And like I know, and I think you would agree, like my movements, that is the reason why I'm currently getting better. It's not because I'm 36 and my joints are absolutely healthy and firing. It's because I'm trying to pay more attention to, and I always have tried to pay more attention, but my movement quality is getting better.
Because I think, it definitely gets to a point where what you could get away with when you were younger, you could almost like overcompensate for stuff because you were that little bit stronger or that little bit more explosive or a bit more flexible. And then as you get older, that's not going to cut it anymore if you want to keep doing things.
Yep.
So it's got to be that intentional, like, you know what, my snatch is actually terrible and my shoulders hurt now. So maybe I actually need to work on, X, Y, Z to make it feel good again.
Yep. Interesting.
There's a couple of, I guess, as we get older, things change. Like, it's inevitable, and it's inevitable that we are going to get older.
What age do things start changing?
From 30.
That's crazy,
Yeah,
hey? That
we
I'm in my
well,
sixth year
yeah.
after that.
Muscle mass. This is not a trained population, so someone who didn't train starts to decrease in our 30s.
It's like 1% a year.
Yeah, and it gets
accelerates.
faster once we hit menopause. Just talking about women, but I'm sure men is similar. Lots of things do change, which means maybe things don't feel as good or they take longer to get better at. But I still believe that all of those changes, training is going to help kind of mitigate those anyway. So why wouldn't you keep going?
And like you said, where the person you were speaking to is at, let's call her Jill. I feel like we need a name. Where Jill is at in her current life stage, she's not currently getting better, but she's staying the same. And we talked about this the other day, and that is getting better.
Yeah, because you're getting older.
Yeah. So if you were to draw yourself a little graph, you are getting better because you're getting older, but you're staying the same. So that is getting better.
Still improving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if she was to stay exactly the same for the next 10 years and she's 51, but she's the same fitness and strength, she has gotten so much better.
Yeah. And it's...
Imagine if she stopped.
Yeah. And we're supposed to like decay over time. We're supposed to... all of these things happen to us. So we lose muscle mass, we lose bone density, we lose flexibility, we lose the ability to move quickly. All of these things happen. But if we keep training, we can stop that from happening. So I just think even if you're not seeing like the PBs in the gym, they're still big life PBs because you haven't ended up decrepit in a nursing home.
And I don't know about you, but if I don't move for a week, my shit feels tight. Like I love like when after you train, like you just feel like everything just feels, good.
Yeah.
So it's not even like you said, it's not just about seeing the numbers go up in the gym. It's everything you get from it, whether it's all of the things you just named or even just like physically feeling good afterwards.
Yeah. And I think a couple of the bigger health things, and this is definitely in older populations, but things like the risk of falls. So if we're looking at an elderly, let's say like, I don't know, 70 plus or something, if they fall and break their hip and end up in hospital, surgery or whatever they ended up doing to help with that, their chance of dying within that time period is like 30%. It's like 1 in 3, which is crazy. Because if they've fallen and broken a hip, we can probably assume they're not very fit and active. They haven't got good balance. They haven't got good muscle mass. The whole point, I think people forget the whole point of this stuff is to keep us fit and healthy as we get old. It's not really about getting that bar muscle up. It's about making sure we can stay out of the nursing home and stay off all the medication and like run around after your grandkids or your horses, like whatever is your jam.
You chase that horse through that muddy. What do you have to chase it through?
I probably won't chase it.
No, you've been having to get it through the flood.
Through the river,
The river, yeah. Like, is it a dam? No, it's a river. And I think on that and like about that bar muscle up, it still has to be enjoyable. Like you still have to enjoy the form of training, right? Like that's such a huge aspect, but maybe adjust the expectations a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think, as we've already mentioned in a way, I think the energy and effort that you put in should be very, very much shifted, if it hasn't already, onto the quality of your movement, because that's what's going to help you get better more than anything as you get older.
Definitely.
And like if you can move like your air squat, your strict press, like your burpee, if things are moving better in all of those movements, then everything's just going to get better and better. It doesn't have to be a 100 kilo back squat. It can be an absolutely beautiful 50 kilo back squat.
Yeah. Or a beautiful air squat to depth. Like that's really cool.
That's always the beautiful basics, right?
Yeah, and like just other things with oldies as well. It's like their ability to get up off the floor. If they have a fall, can they get up off the floor and get help? Like that's such a big thing. We know just getting up off the floor unassisted is a huge predictor of someone's lifespan. So being able to keep training, and even if it's not the really cool, sexy stuff, but it's like that actually might save your life one day. The ability to just get up off the ground without anyone helping you.
So they're not just shit burpees, are they?
No, they're very useful burpees.
There's so much more than just shit burpees.
So much more.
And we talked about that with Maddie a little while back when we had her on the podcast, who's a paramedic. And so many of the jobs that she goes to are falls. And she said the system changed recently to they're not allowed to just go in and help them up. They have to try and guide them on how to get up so they get less of those calls so they can actually help the oldies get up.
Yeah.
Which is so sad. Like, again, like I'm just so grateful for what my body is able to do at this current age where I'm at, and I want to be able to keep doing this for as long as I can. So the when is this gonna stop, like, doesn't occur to me. Don't think about it. Like,
No. And I can't imagine what it must feel like to be getting older and to know that you can't do those things anymore. That is like, yeah, it's heartbreaking, I think.
heartbreaking is the right word.
Be like, I can't look after myself any longer because my mobility has gotten so bad or whatever it is.
And I also think, yeah, I don't know about you, but like I mentioned with Rach, like seeing her and what she's capable of, but there's like different little things that get etched in my brain that I see. I remember CrossFit shared maybe like 6 to 12 months ago a video of a 70-plus-year-old man getting a ring muscle up.
Oh, wow.
His first ever ring muscle up
saw
over
that.
70. And I was like, man, like you don't ever have to stop. Like he had been training CrossFit for years, but that was his first ring muscle up and he was over 70 years old.
Wow.
Is that not insane? Like,
And it's like, we don't even know what's possible yet.
Yeah.
Like, this type of training has not been around long enough for us to
goosebumps.
see what it does as we get old. Like, all the stuff we've seen is on people who didn't exercise because it wasn't important, 20, 30 years ago. So
and especially women with strength
yeah,
training.
yeah.
Like,
So maybe we will see those numbers change
Yeah.
as our generation gets older, and then even more so the ones behind us, which would be so cool.
absolutely.
So cool. My sister sent me a video the other day. She's an ICU nurse, and it was must have been a podcast with another nurse, and she was talking about women specifically, but saying something like, we all talk about, health and fitness because we want to look a certain way or be able to do cool things. But she said the patients who come into ICU for whatever reason, let's say it's, I don't know, some kind of big illness, and they're like in a coma, bed bound for a long period of time, the ones with a higher muscle mass, coming in are the ones that survive.
Interesting.
So it is just so protective.
So regardless of why they come in,
Yeah.
the more muscle they have, the
yeah,
better
the
off they
fitter and
are.
healthier they are, the more muscle mass they have, the better their chances of survival.
That's so interesting.
So I think sometimes we just forget what this is all actually for. It's the cool stuff, but it's like a life, stay alive.
And that, I just think, in your mid-30s to 60, like you are setting yourself up for having a good experience as an older adult. Like that's the time where you're built, and even earlier, obviously. But if you're in that age range, like you're building your older body
Yeah.
and what you're going to be doing when you're old. It's like, are you going to be in a wheelchair when you're 80, or are you going to be out riding your bike?
Yeah, hopefully.
It might be an electric bike, but you're still pedaling.
Still on a bike.
Yeah, still like how cool to be like still climbing mountains and still traveling the world, and like work your whole life and raise children or whatever you've done, raised horses, just to give up and sit around when you're old. Like you should want more for you when you're old. You should want, it's not like you said, not just the sexy stuff now. That's, you got to want more for the older you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because fuck that, I'm not doing all this just to sit.
No, we got
Imagine just sitting in a little chair all day with a blanket on, watching telly, eating I'd love a good scone though. I wouldn't mind a good little scone and tea every day. But then you want to go for a walk
Yeah.
and travel and do stuff.
Yeah. I'm stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the PBs are so temporary as well. They're so fleeting.
Oh,
they don't last. It's real.
It's very funny you say that. It's so true. I'm going to tell a story. Did I? Oh, I told the story in front of you, a member on my Wednesday night class. This is hilarious. So we are good coaches, I promise. But a member, we had bar muscle up workout with shuttle running on Wednesday night, and she comes over. I was like, talk to me, like, go figure out your option, but if you don't know what it is, come talk to me, I'll help you out. She comes over, she's like, I don't know what to do. I was like, you got pull-ups? She's like, I've got one pull-up. I was like, okay, show me. And she goes over and she does one, and I, like, my brain went, that was very easy. You've got more than one. Mm-hmm. So I was like, Jill, jump back up.
Not the same Jill, different
Jill.
This is Jill B.
Jill B. Jump back up. When you get to the top, I want you to push away really hard to your next one and then just try again. I bet you that second one's going to be easier. And she jumps up and she does 2, and it was beautiful. And I was like, whoop, now you got 2. That was my celebration, right?
Yeah.
I just went, now you got 2. And she goes, geez, you guys are like tough, hey? Like, that was a PB. And I was like, cool, I know. And it was great. Well done. She goes, do you know what happened on my first pull-up? I was like, what? She said her first ever pull-up in class, she does it. Hannah walks over, Coach Han. This is hilarious. I told Hannah yesterday. She was like, oh, no, I remember. Hannah walks over, didn't know it was her first one. She goes, Jill, on your next rep, just keep your legs straighter. Just don't bend your knees as much.
And we will never be satisfied.
And Jill turns around to Hannah and goes, that was my first pull-up. Hannah's like, I'm so sorry. Well done. That's so
But keep
good.
your legs straighter.
Yeah. And then when I told her the story yesterday, she's like, yeah, but keep your legs straighter. So funny. So I was like, hey, Jill, at least we're consistent. We're consistent across the board.
Apart from Sarah, she would have thrown you a party.
And then that's the funniest part. And she goes, you know what? I'm just going to go and tell Sarah. And I was like, good, because she has enough excitement for all of us.
So
and then I was telling
funny.
Sarah about it the next day. That's when you walked out yesterday when you
Yeah,
were
yeah.
leaving. I was telling Sarah the story. And she goes, yeah, she messaged me. I was like, good. I'm so glad.
That's so funny.
So funny. But on that, and I was talking to Hannah about it yesterday, I am happy for people when they get something new, but also it's expected. You done the work. I'm more happy about seeing the progress and the process of how you got that thing rather than seeing the actual thing. Because I was thinking about it, I was like, I gotta get better at celebrating for people. But I'm like, I don't. Like, I'm so impressed, but not because of what you did, because you earned that. Because of all of the times you showed up to the gym.
Yeah.
That's way cooler.
It's way cooler
Than the actual thing.
Yeah,
You
I
earned
totally
it.
agree.
And that's what I love about training is like, most people can't just jump up and get it. It's
Yeah.
because of,
You have to try hard over time.
yeah. And that's way more impressive than the actual thing. And yeah, Becky's awesome chest to bar. She was fucking stoked. But
Now they're gone.
yeah.
And never to be seen again.
That's okay.
Now I don't have it.
PBs are fleeting.
So fleeting.
But yeah, like, and I think that's such a, it's, yeah, something to say about training is like, I believe you shouldn't be deeply emotionally connected to the
goal,
result.
yeah.
Like, it needs to be the effort that you have passion for.
Process.
Not the result of it all.
Yeah.
Because obviously it makes sense that you got it.
Yeah, if you did the
Jill.
work, you're probably going to get it.
Hope you listen to this, Jill.
I don't know who it is. I'm trying to think.
You got no idea?
No.
I'll obviously tell you after.
I'm like trying
I'm
to
sure she wouldn't
read your
mind, but
no, it's fine. Well, tell me later. I think that's all I got really. To
Yeah,
be honest.
that was good.
I mean, I could talk about this for hours, but
yeah,
I think that's a good place to finish on Jill's.
on
Cool.
Jill's story. Imagine when we get a Jill sign up. I don't think we will. But yeah, if you're pushing 40, keep going.
If you're older and you're here, fuck yeah. So good. Rosie, I'm sorry for swearing, but fuck yeah. Like, so cool.
It is.
Like, she has been training for, I don't even know how many years she's been here for. Maybe 5?
yeah.
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 She doesn't let me say how old she is, but she's pushing on 70, like up at that end of the 60s, and is still trying to learn how to do things better. And we work on her pull-ups every week. Like, It's just cool.
And I think I said to you not that long ago, because I don't get to coach Rosie. Yes, I still go here, Rosie. I don't get to coach her often or see her often, but she came to Trishy's workout, I think it was. Yeah. And like the improvements in movement quality in her cleans. I was like, fuck, that's so cool that she's pushing 70 and still getting better and stronger.
Yes.
Getting all of the things.
And then people, I think of like Jules and Kimmy as well, both have significant injuries and surgeries and like still just showing up and doing what they can because they know that it's good for their health long term.
Longevity.
Yeah.
And you've got a couple of masters.
Yeah. New lady walked in yesterday. It's a scary thing to do, but yeah, you're doing it for you. Yeah.
It's the best. Who's the oldest person we got in the gym at the moment? You don't have to say the name. Age, maybe.
Yeah. How old?
76, I think.
Oh, I just really want an 80-year-old. We've never had someone over 80.
Almost.
Oh, if she stays long enough. She's
Keep
done
her
a year.
coming.
She's done over a year.
That's
so-
good. Yeah.
4 more to go.
Oh, yeah. 4 to go. All we could find. Find an 80-year-old on the street.
Yeah. Bring one.
Sounds
Bring
sus,
one
doesn't
in.
it? Cool. Anything
Cool.
else? Good?
Good.
Good?
Bright
Sweet.
spot of the week. Have you got one?
I will say you are my bright spot this week. You have helped.
What?
You've jumped in and helped Hannah and I prepare for Torian, and I'm very grateful and very happy.
Thank you for asking me. It's very fun.
It's very
I love
fun.
progress. It's like the best.
Yeah, you're very good at it.
I love
I
it.
don't love it. I don't love, like, I like doing, and I think you've said the same. I don't mind doing it for like one person, but like class or
Yeah, I felt class where I did it a long time ago, and I just felt like every time it was like my birthday party. I was like, is everyone having fun? Like, does anyone need a drink? Like, is everyone good? Is this okay? I didn't like that. That felt very stressful.
Yeah.
But when it's like a specific thing, I really like that.
And
It's very
I would
fun.
say you seem to thrive in the programming for a competition as well.
I love it.
Whereas I like programming PTs to get better at a movement or something, but programming workouts around when you know the workouts and how to get better at those. Like I don't vibe with that, which
interesting.
is something that you do quite well. So it's working. Thank you.
Coaching this week, actually. It's just been like a good week of, I don't know, just like,
The class,
yeah,
PTs, all of it.
I think classes particularly have just been really fun this week.
Fuck your PTs, yeah.
Yeah. None of them have impressed me this week. So try harder next week. Guys.
Keep up the good work. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And like, do you think it comes down to the workouts, or you just feel like people are getting better with your?
I think, I'd like obviously definitely like weightlifting workouts.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. But then just seeing like the progression of that within a session, just like,
Love it.
yes.
Yeah, we were sitting on our bike doing nasal breathing this morning. So sorry for.
I was like, they're fucking laughing. They're not nasal breathing.
I was nasal breathing. Let me tell you what happened. So Candace
and I was
had
like, I'm not going to look at them because they're being stupid.
Yeah, thank you.
Don't
That
give
was
attention
smart.
to
Yeah.
the naughty behavior.
Yeah, and I felt so naughty because Hannah can't shut the fuck up when she's laughing. And I was like, Candace is trying to teach. Shut up, Hannah. It was so funny. We're like a bike apart. I don't know why she moved. She mustn't like that bike, but she moved across one. We're doing her nasal breathing and on this 5-minute bike. And I'm like, try not to ride too fast to make too much noise in your class. And, you know, because I'm
I
just
was
so
like, she's
fast.
so fit
Yeah.
that she can just nasal breathe when she goes fast.
But I look over at Han. I shouldn't have. It was my fault. I looked just to, you know, see if she's nasal breathing. And as I look over, no shit, she was like this. So if you're listening
Checking if
and
she's breathing?
not watching, she had her full hands under her nose on top of her lip. And I looked at her and then she looked at me and my face was like, what the fuck? I didn't say anything. I was just looking at her. And then she lost it and then she could not control it. She's trying to keep nasal breathing, but she can't laugh and breathe whilst that. It was... Anyway, at the end, I was like, what were you doing? Were you checking if you were breathing? And we were telling Becky, and at the time she told us she wasn't checking. She was smelling her hand
Why?
because she put sanitizer on earlier and she wanted to see if she could smell it. So now you know.
This is what I'm working with.
It was so funny.
That's
And she just
ridiculous.
cannot, when she laughs, she cannot control her
I was
body.
like, I can't look at them because I'm going to lose it. Can't look at them. I'm going to keep coaching, pretend they're not there.
Lose it in anger or laughter?
No, like laugh
Oh,
because I was
good.
like trying to coach my, my excellent class through their weightlifting warm up.
I was like this. I was like trying not to look at her after that, trying to not laugh. But all I could hear was her snorting.
Yeah. I was like, you can open your mouth to laugh. Like it's okay.
I was not
at this point.
I was like, I'm nasal breathing to the end. It was very funny.
Christ.
How hard is trying not to laugh? And
When it's like,
Like-
very
when
funny.
it's so-
And I feel like
I'm-
when it's quiet as like in
Yeah.
that situation, it's very hard.
I feel like I'm okay because I've had so much practice as a child. Like, try not to. You know when your
Like when
parents
your
would get
par-
mad
oh,
at
yeah.
you? And there was 4 of us. So if we were in trouble, we would like all try to make each other laugh. And Dad, I'll never forget the time we're all sitting around the like kitchen table. The cousins were there too. And we were being too loud while he was watching the news. Always. And he came out and then we were all sitting there. We were like... and someone would lose it, and then he'd just hit them over the back of the head, and then he'd be like, and he's just standing there waiting for the next one to go. And so I'm like not bad at it because I was obviously abused, but Hannah is absolutely useless.
she goes like full,
body flop.
yeah,
Like
full rubber.
I'm surprised she doesn't pee her pants because she loses control
Maybe
of
she
her
does.
entire body.
Maybe
So
she does.
it wouldn't
Do
surprise
you have
me.
a bright spot, Becky?
I was trying to think of this. I had one earlier, but
Sorry.
it's
have
gone.
been that bright,
As in,
really?
like earlier
Oh,
when I
okay.
was down in coffee, I was like, I'll say that, but now it's gone. So
Find a new one.
it was really good.
Must have been.
Cert, getting through my cert 3, nearly there.
So close.
And it goes green when you tick things off, and it's
that's
more
nice.
green. It's really fun.
Cert 3
Yeah, it's very satisfying.
Cert 3 in fitness, everybody.
Yes.
Becky's going to be a group fitness trainer. She already is. But yeah,
exactly
it's
what
pretty
I'm
cool.
doing.
It's like pretty informative.
Yeah.
Are you happy you did
Yeah,
it? Or
yeah.
doing it?
Yeah.
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 How close do you think you are? Like how long to go?
How green? How
Uh,
green? Are we
How
talking?
green?
I'll be done by next week.
Oh.
I feel like you're the person who would make up a pretend to-do list so you could tick things off. Is that
Oh
you?
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
You love
a
a good-
pretend one.
She has real ones.
Do you like put down stuff you've already done so you can tick it off?
Oh,
No, that's cheating.
maybe.
She's like, wake up. Tick. I'm amazing.
Wake up, be amazing. That's funny.
Yeah, definitely less. Love a tick.
Do you have a list every day?
Oh, this is a good question.
Do you tick a list every day?
No, but there is an ongoing. We've got one of our kitchen walls is a blackboard,
You like a physical
Writing.
list,
Yeah.
don't
She's
you?
like we can write on our
notepad
wall.
and pen.
and there's a constant list on there.
You have one on your phone.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's on my phone and it's a constant checklist that will never end.
Is it ever done?
No, because I always add stuff to
It's
it.
never ending.
Never.
Let me tell you.
How many things are on there?
So, because it keeps so it's an actual checklist.
Can you just? I don't want to
sorry.
read it, but just show me what it looks like. Oh Jesus fuck. Okay.
So that's my current list. There's maybe like 20 things on there, maybe 20. But when I tick something, it goes to the checked items.
Okay.
So I currently have 612 checked items.
Holy.
I don't know when I started it, but
See, I'd like it gone.
well, it is gone, so I don't see it.
Yeah.
But then I can click
but
that
Is that,
button.
is that a Google thing?
It's just Google Keep. So when you start a new Keep, you just press the plus button, and then you go list.
I don't think I have. Anyway, we'll talk about that later.
That's good.
My
then you
list
can
is-
look- Sorry.
Fine. My list is in my head.
Yeah, but I can't. I don't have a memory. Like
Neither do I.
I have no-
It's funny because nothing ever gets done.
It's a risk game.
It's like the
she's like,
adrenaline.
got it. Gone. What were you gonna say?
Oh, your checked thing. So they're all checked there, but every now and then you can look and just see
How amazing you
great
are.
you've been.
Yeah,
I feel like
all
you
of
could
it.
get
All
around
this
that,
stuff
Becky.
I've done,
Yeah, you
and
could.
then just put it away again.
And sometimes I do things that are like way down on the list, but I haven't checked the bottom of the list in a while. But it's just done, and then I'm like, oh, I did that. Oh, I did that, and it's like it's nice. And then you get rid of that.
Yeah, very
Like for
satisfying.
example, like Trishy's gift, organizing the sign and the photo frame. They've been on that list for maybe 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Making sure that's done. But then once it was all organized, I didn't tick it because it all just sort of happened.
Yeah.
You know, and then I was like, oh, tick, tick, tick.
3.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. I highly recommend it. It's
I'll look into it.
especially if you like work autonomous sort of jobs and you have lots to do on your own, but no one would know if you didn't do it.
Yeah.
It's just,
Yeah.
because you just won't. I don't know if you guys are the same, but I just wouldn't.
No, mine's like just all fear driven.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Fear of what?
Or just like, if you don't do that, Jim doesn't have programming for the week. So, you know, consequences get me moving.
I love it. That's good.
When someone's like, "There's no workout on Saturday,"
Yeah.
you're like, "Oh,
Fuck, I forgot to do that.
Does someone do that? Do people do that?
Yeah.
Do that?
Sometimes I don't put them in on purpose because I don't know what
Yeah.
we're doing.
they're
yet.
there. They're just
Yeah, I
not
haven't
for the
put them
public."
in.
yet.
Yes. Guys. Yes.
No one ever whinges to me anymore. Suckers! Sucks to be you guys. All right.
Okay. Ciao,
See you. Oh, we won't. Oh, we're going to record.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes.
We
we'll
might
just-
have one next week. Maybe we won't.
Maybe we won't. We'll see.
Maybe see you, maybe not.
Bye.
Bye.